Welcome to Speed Reviews. Oh my heart, so much to go over. So I'm going to try to go as fast as I possibly can. There's probably no rhyme nor reason to my order of doing these things. I'm just going to grab them out of my bins here and talk about them. Number one is this Real Techniques Real Clean. It is a cleansing balm. I used this entire bottle. It smells very much like coconut oil. I loved the smell. I actually really liked this. It's funny because I just saw another YouTuber say she didn't like it and she didn't think it took her makeup off. I disagree with that for me. I thought it took my makeup off well. I don't think it's going to replace my favorite Clean It Zero. I think this is a tad bit better, and I do think it removes makeup a tad bit better. And I think the price is about the same. This might be a bit cheaper. This one, though, I will say that some people say they don't like the smell of it. If that really is off-putting to you, you might want to try this. Okay, Lottie London has been sending me some products, and one of them is the Bubble Tea Primer. I actually like this. I don't think it is the most long wearing, like it's going to really elongate my makeup, but it did, I think, made the foundation go on a little bit better. It wasn't drying, but it also, to me, wasn't very hydrating. I don't think it's one of those you need to run out and get it. But if you're looking for a primer that's just kind of an all-over decent primer, this one could be it. Okay, I've been trying the Joah Concealer. I actually tried it today again. I've probably tried this about 3 or 4 times, and I'm just done. I'm frustrated. I loved it when it first went on because it's extremely creamy. I'm not a huge fan of this applicator, this kind of applicator, because I don't like putting it on there. So a lot of times I'll just put it on my hand and then tap it in. It's very hydrating, very creamy. The problem is I literally have to pack on the powder in order to get it to set. I would powder it down with a powder that is my ride or die, wonderful, my Urban Decay all-nighter. I would have to do it again and do it again. I'm just like, okay, well then it's just not worth it. If I have to keep doing that, I don't mind if I have to do it maybe twice. Like I'll do it initially, tap it down and put a little bit on, go back and tap it down, put a little bit more on and be done. No, this is like 3 or 4 times. So I'm very disappointed because it was so creamy and it seems so hydrating. On the other hand, Clinique has one it's a color corrector in peach. This I like. So this I would put under my foundation to negate the blue that's in the corner of my eyes. And this works wonderful. I need to check to see if they have a darker one because I think my blue is pretty dark. So I think I need to get one that does a little bit more. So this one I definitely highly recommend. Okay, I'm not sure if you noticed or if you follow BK Beauty, but they came out with a new travel case. This is in collaboration with Angie from Angie Hot and Flashy, another YouTuber. She had already done a whole brush set that I've already reviewed and love, and they came out with this. Very odd shape, but this is kind of ingenious. And it opens up and there's the brushes. It came with some brushes. I added some in here because you can see it'll hold a bunch of brushes. It's made for travel, but here's the ingenious part. I'm not gonna be able to do it without putting it down. You bend down this thing and they all stand up. So this sits on a counter like that, and you can easily grab, it goes down enough, and then I added some ones in here so that if I wanted to have, you know, eye brushes and stuff. And I think it actually works really good to have them kind of lean this way because you can grab things easily. I put even other ones that are not BK Beauty, sorry Lisa, in here just to show it doesn't have to only be BK Beauty brushes. Ingenious. I love this concept. I like it that I can grab the brush itself without grabbing the head. That is big to me because I don't want my fingers on the brush head and things like that. And then when you're done, you just bring this back up and I just kind of tilt it backwards and then you just slide it into your suitcase or your other bag, whatever. It comes with the foundation brush, the 101, then her blush brush, A506 brush. Then she has 2 eye brushes that are perfect eye brushes, especially if you have hooded eyes. So you get 5 brushes in the set plus the case itself. Yes, they did send this to me, but there's no obligation for me to talk about it. Okay, I bought the Inkylist. This is the polyglutamic acid dewy sunscreen SPF 30. This feels wonderful going on. I had trouble with it just being way too dewy for me, and that's really a preference for me. I think that if you love a dewy look, this is a perfectly fine sunscreen. It said to shake before use. I don't think I shook it. This I'm giving to Rachel. This is the Dr. Jart Ceramidin Cream Moisturize Retention Shield. I actually did not like this. I think that if you have relatively dry skin and not extremely dry skin, you might like it. It's not that it's a bad moisturizer, it's just I don't think it's made for extremely dry skin like I have. Okay, what is moisturizing, which I think is wonderful, I put this in a video where I reviewed a bunch of the products from Jason Wu. This is his Wu Prime. So this is actually an oil. This you would use like a primer for your makeup. So I like this like maybe 3 drops, and I just kind of press it into my face, and I'm kind of keeping on the perimeter around my face because I use a different kind of primer on my nose and on my forehead, which I'll tell you in a second. I showed it in the video where I used it for the first time. I've used it several times since. I'm very much looking forward to using this winter when the heat is on and it's just dry. I'm really excited to see how this makes my makeup go on and keeps my skin hydrated, even if I have dry, peely skin. And right now I really don't. When I did that video, I did. But right now I'm not really dealing with dry, peely skin. So this I'm really happy with. The thing I have been putting on is something I have already reviewed, but I wanted to just say it again. This is the Porefessional Hydrate Primer. The reason I like this is I struggle with during the day, like probably within a couple hours of me putting my foundation on, all foundation, right on here and on the tip of my nose, it looks like I have white polka dots. It's not a whitehead because when I wash my face, they go away. It's definitely the foundation settling in those pores. And then it starts looking dry and gross, and it's just not attractive. This helps tremendously. And that means I don't put that Wu Prime that I just threw on the floor. I don't put that all over that area. That's why I keep that on the perimeter. But this has made a big difference. I'd kind of stopped using it, and now I'm back into using it because of that problem. I bought the Grande Brow 2-in-1. This is a colored brow gel, and it's supposed to help grow your brows as you use it. I don't like it, sadly, and maybe that's good because it's expensive. First off, it does not hold my brows up. It might hold yours if you do not have unruly brows like mine. I use the Grande serum to grow my brows. That stuff is a clear thing you put on at night on skin with nothing on it, and it literally is a clear thing that you put on the skin itself under your brows. I actually rub it in with my fingers, and that is to me a miracle worker. Love it. So how can this that only goes on the hairs grow your brows? I'm just not sure how that works. The other thing is because it doesn't hold, I would take a spoolie and brush my brows up again, and it would like peel off like in little balls, little brown balls would be coming off on my skin. I've heard so many other YouTubers like, I love this thing. It just, I guess my brows just do not like to stand up. They just don't. What does work for me, and I've already said this before because I want to show you the things that do work as well for ones that don't, is the Joah Brow Down to Me gel. This is a clear gel. And so I will sometimes put on a colored brow gel and then put this over it. This holds my brows. It does leave your brows a bit crunchy, but I personally think that's why they hold up. Like, I think that's the game changer. So I like the crunchiness. I'm fine with it being crunchy because it's holding it. So I really do like this. Okay, I'm gonna show you 2 more concealers. One is from Flower Beauty. This I did not like at all. This was just really dry. It's also way too light for me, which is fine. I actually had another one, the darker one. I'm not sure why I have the lighter one here. It's just too dry for my under eye, and I have pretty dry under eyes. So if you do not, you might like it, but I never used it more than like 2 times because I'm just like, I cannot handle this. It would just amplify every dry little flake and everything. I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with that. So this one did not work. Another one that sadly did not work because it cost me a little small fortune is the one from Milk Makeup, where this one is raved about. People love this one. You can see I got way 2 different colors. So the darker one on there is the milk one. I think that the people who this works really well with are those who do not have a lot of like vertical wrinkles. Like I have a lot of wrinkles, particularly right there, which I know most people do. It didn't help those at all. So yeah, sadly this didn't work. I wish I could get my money back at this point, but I can't. Oh baby, I'm going through these fast. I'm so happy. A foundation that I actually love. This is Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Skin Tint. This I really did like. I've used it quite a few times since then. I've only used this though in my summer skin. I understand there is denatured alcohol in this, and that will definitely dry my skin out if I wear it too much. I generally do not wear foundations too many days in a row because I'm always trying new things. So if you're gonna buy this and you have dry skin and you're gonna wear this every day, I don't think you're going to want to wear this because of the denatured alcohol. So I would steer clear of it. But if you do not have an issue with things drying out your skin, you might like this. I love how it looks on my skin. It is a very beautiful foundation on. I will say the packaging is just that packaging that nobody likes, so I'm not sure why they do it. It must just be cheap. Yeah, a few more primers. I've been going crazy with primers trying to figure out some things. You guys have already seen this, and I think it might be the video right before this one. It's a very chatty get ready with me, and I told you I was trying to compare something. I was comparing these two. This is the color correcting primer, so it's in green, and green negates red. I have rosacea, and so I'm always red right around my cheeks and sometimes up in here. It depends on how, if I'm having a flare-up or something. And then I tried the Cicapair Derma Green Solution Tiger Grass Color Correcting Treatment. I saw a difference in the beginning. This seemed to negate the red a little bit more than this one. But in the end, they looked identical, and I had to put more foundation on. I don't recommend either of these. Okay, this one's a bit controversial. I got the e.l.f. Liquid Putty Primer. This is an Allure Best in Beauty. I have heard so many YouTubers say they love this. Maybe it's because of my dry skin, because it is a matte primer. So I am going to give that disclaimer because it could absolutely just be that. But I don't think it did anything for me. Like nothing. I was hoping this would help that area I was just telling you about. Nope, that night, or actually in a couple hours, I had the dots. I'm like, okay, it didn't help with that. I will say the Benefit one, I'm looking down here because I just throw all the products down there when I'm talking, just like throw it down there. I would say that one also is a matte primer. It's certainly, although it says it's hydrating. That's probably it. That's the hydrating primer, where this one is just the matte primer. So I think that's the reason. So it probably would work for you if you don't have really dry skin. If you love this, let me know below. Another one that I tried, it might have been in that same video, I don't remember, but is the Ulta Beauty Eye Primer. I liked this at first. I thought it went on creamy. It's got a tint to it, so it's not a white primer, and I had high hopes for it. Sadly, it dried my skin out. So I have pretty decent dry lids. Like I really struggle with having actually peeling on my lids, and you can't exfoliate your lids. So you're kind of stuck with it. So I need to be careful what I put on to not make that be more dry. And this sadly did not work. If you do not have dry lids, you actually might like this. It worked well as a primer. Like my mascara didn't smudge up in there. My eyeshadow stayed all day. It worked great for what it is. It just didn't work for my dry eyelids. Okay, I have to change my mind about one thing. I had said that I hated, I really did not like this at all, because it is a liquid bronzer, and that is how I used it. I used it to bronze. Bronzing usually happens after you do your foundation, and I did, and I hated this. Here is how I now love this. This is perfect for when you have a foundation that is not as dark as it needs to be. So I had purchased this from Heimish. It's a BB cream. I tried it out on camera and I said immediately like, oh, I think this is too light for me. It is too light for me. My hands are way lighter than my face, as you can see, because of self-tanning. Okay, the beauty of this is I can take it on my hand. So I have a little bit on my hand here. I'm gonna put it, oh boy, it's a lot on my, oh boy. Okay, Bobby, really? We'll take a little bit off. Okay, so now clearly my hand is darker. Then I take the foundation that's too light and I put that over it and it darkens it up beautifully. It makes it look seamless. It's beautiful. I'm corrected on that. I had said I did not like it. I was going to get rid of it. It was in my fails get rid of pile. And then I bought the Heimish and was like, this makes me so sad because this is not a cheap foundation or BB cream. It does have a bit of a glow, but it's not overwhelming glow. This one definitely gets pared down by whatever you obviously put on top. If you put a glowy one on top, it's gonna be glowy. So, love these, especially this combination. They worked so well together. Okay, I have a whole bunch of brow products. One I tried on a video, it's the Joah, this is the brow cheat sheet kit. And the reason why it's a kit is it came with some stencils, and I don't do stencils, they look hideous on my face. But I do believe these two products are really good brow products. This I would not try. This is like it's not even a wax, it's more like a gel kind of thing. It's actually sticky. I don't know what this is. I tried it, and I tried it a couple times to see if I could make it work. No, could not make it work. But the powders themselves, they work great. So I would highly recommend this, very affordable. Then I also tried the Arches and Halos. This is sold on Amazon, and this one, perfect for travel, it's so small. It's got 2 colors on each side. This one worked great. I really do like when it has a couple colors because I will use a lighter color on the inside here and I will get darker as I go out. That gives you a much more natural look instead of being all one color. I will use this lighter one closer to my eye and use this at the tail of my eyebrows. This Ciate Micro Brow, is it called Micro Brow? Micro Blade Brow. I have been loving this. This is the first one of this type of thing that I actually like. It's just got 3 prongs. This will draw if you want to get some brush strokes instead of you drawing them on individually, which I am not good at all. This does this. This will fill in this area right along here, right closest to my nose is the area that I need the brush, I need the hairs drawn in because it's very sparse there. And this makes it look so much natural, so much faster. This has sped up my brow procedure. What do you call it? Yeah, brow application. Oh, my heart. My brow application so much better. Oh, my heart. Don't sleep on this. It's from Ciate. I will link it below, and I'll link it. I try to link a couple places with everything because I know you all like to shop in different areas and things like that. A new brow pencil I got from Ulta Beauty. I was surprised by this. It's a decently thin pencil. It's got the spoolie at the other end, and this really does work well. I'm in the color medium brown. It also is one of those that the more you brush it on, it doesn't pill up like some brow pencils do. I hate that. The more you put on, it starts taking it off as you put it on. So frustrating. So this one doesn't do that. I do recommend you cleaning off your brows before you start applying things. So if you've got skincare, sunscreen, foundation, all those things, just wipe it down with a clean washcloth or a sponge or something. And then the last brow product that I would say I'm actually not thrilled with, this is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio. It doesn't hold my brows like it needs to. I have a hard time applying this where it'll get on my skin, and I don't want it to be on my skin. I want it to just be on the brow hairs. Forgot about this one. One more brow product. I bought during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty, the Anastasia 7B Brow Brush. The one that I have loved for so long is from Milani. It's one that you have to buy with their brow pomade. And I don't like their brow pomade, so I don't use the brow pomade, but I did love the brush. Sadly, I literally dropped it just yesterday into my heat vent next to my makeup table. It literally, all of a sudden I heard it go clink, 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 clink. I'm like, no. Thankfully it wasn't this one, because this one's a lot more expensive, even though I got it 50% off. Oh, I was so upset. I'm like, okay, well, there's no retrieving that one. It's gone. But this one is wonderful. I like it because the bristles are nice and stiff. And so you can get right in there and really direct where you want it. Where this is wonderful is right here. Being able to draw that line right there is huge for me, because that's hard to do with a pencil. And then this will obviously fill in just sparse areas after I've done my brow pencil. And of course, with the spoolie on the other end, it makes it just that much better. I have so much more. Okay, let's talk about 3 eyeshadow palettes. First was the Catrice, the Pure Nude. I really do like this one. I think this is a really good eyeshadow palette. At first I was like, I don't know if I like this, but the more I used it, the more I liked it. This is an all over color that is just perfection. Then it's got, wait, 1, 2, 3. It's got 3? Is that it? Yeah, I don't. Okay, let me look. It's got 4 shimmers. Oh my heart, I have this all over me. Okay, it has 4 shimmers. So all different shades of shimmers, and they are just beautiful. They're not the glitter that's gonna fall all over your face and you're like, okay, I have glitter till 2024. Well, it even has a highlight one, so if you wanna get right along your eyebrow bone, like right underneath your brow, perfect, and very inexpensive. This is e.l.f.'s new eyeshadow palette. It is the Summer Breeze palette. I do like this one. I don't think it's one that I'm gonna go to a ton. Here's the reason. These are all very similar in their in the color depth. I would never really use this one. I'll never use this one, or probably this one. But that's just me. It's not that I will never use it again. It's just not one that I'm like, oh, I want to use that one. I think I have to think about this one. There's also no shimmer in it, which is fine. Some people don't want a shimmer, but I do like to have a little bit of a shimmer right here in my eye just to brighten things up. It's a good one. I'm not saying it's not. It's just not one I will reach for. And then the Jason Wu one, I do love his mattes. I do not like any of the glitters. His glitters are just a little bit too chunky for me. Like they don't have a good wash of color with a little bit of reflection. It's much more of there's color and then there's glitter inside that color. I cannot talk. This is not one I'm going to probably reach for. I'm on the fence whether I will declutter it. Okay, I tried the ColourPop Shortbread and Silver Strand Beach. This is a blush and this is a bronzer. I actually do like these, but I really think you have to be powdered down in order to not get it to be blotchy. So if you have any kind of stickiness from your foundation or anything on your face, this is gonna be blotchy. I used it in a video and I definitely had that happen. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't like how blotchy it is. But of course I kept trying it because I wanna give you guys a full review. And if I was really powdered down and not at all sticky, these blended beautifully. They looked beautiful. I was like, oh, I actually like this. And I was surprised. So it really depends on you and what you're willing to do. I do think this is a little too light for me, and I think it pulls a little too orange for me. But that's me, and it might work for you. Again, this is the Silver Strand Beach. I probably won't use this too much because of that. I don't like to powder down too much. I do like this a bit better because by the time I'm putting blush on, if I'm not using a cream blush, I'm pretty set down and I feel like it looks, I feel like I can get this to work much easier. Another blush palette is from Coral Crush. This is from Ulta Beauty. I will say that it's inexpensive enough to make this worth it, but the only one I like is the middle one. This one's beautiful. This one's good too. It's just not a color I would choose too much. I love a blush that has kind of pulls to the brown more than pink. Like it's kind of, I don't know how to describe that. I just think it looks more brown. Do you guys see that? So I love this, keeping this just because of that color. The L'Oreal Infallible bronzer. This is the 24-hour fresh wear bronzer, and I'm in the color light medium. I do think this is a good bronzer, but it's kind of like that ColourPop one. I feel that in order to make this one work, I have to be powdered down a lot. Otherwise, I get that blotchy. And I kind of think that's a lot in any powdered bronzer. That's kind of why I like the cream bronzers so much, because I can blend those so much more. They kind of blend into my foundation and making it be a kind of a seamless wash. And I get, with powder, I get a bit more, it's just more challenging. This one as well pulls a little bit too orange for me. So it's another color thing for my skin. I know that a lot of people love this, so I might be in the minority on that one. 3 powders. First is a Physicians Formula Translucent. This one I actually didn't like very much, and I've kind of grown to like it a little bit more. It is translucent, but I actually think it gives you a bit of coverage. I don't like this one under my eyes at all. I don't think it sets it well enough, but I do like this one around like my forehead and just kind of patting down my face to get that stickiness away. I think it actually gives a bit of coverage, but not much. I mean, it says it's translucent, so it shouldn't really do a coverage. The Wet n Wild one, this is the 5-in-1 Essence Primer and Finish Powder. It claims it will smooth, condition, refine pores, balance, pre and post makeup. There was a trend where you would put powder on your face before you'd put foundation on. Okay, all dry skin girls go, ugh, I would never do that. And I would never do that. So I'm not using the one of the 5 automatically. I don't think this is a horrible product, but it's not one I would reach for. I just didn't, I would use it and be like, like I just don't, I'm not wowed by it. I don't think it really smoothed my skin out like it claims. And I don't know. I've used it several times and I kept going, like I couldn't define specifically why I'm not excited about using it, but I think it just doesn't do anything outstanding. This one might surprise you, the Fit Me one. Kind of the same thing, and my daughter loves this foundation, not foundation, powder. This is a setting powder. I think it's in, yeah, it's just 100, which is translucent. This kind of did the same thing. This would not set down my under eye, so I'm like, no, I don't like it for that. Again, this might be because of the dry skin. My daughter doesn't have dry skin. So this one just, again, it's kind of the same thing as this. I was like, I don't know. I'm just not excited about it. I'd use it and I'd be like, I don't think it's doing anything great for me. It's not like I'm excited. Like I'll grab my Urban Decay All-Nighter and go, okay, I love this thing. It works so well. I can depend on it. It will set things. It will matte it down if I need it to be matte down, but it won't overdo it. It won't over dry. And I know it every time. Whereas these, I was just like, I don't think it's really doing anything. Another foundation I have been loving is the Clinique Even Better. This is a beautiful foundation. It is a light coverage. It can be built a bit. You'll never get a full coverage. I don't even think you get a full medium coverage. I would say you get a light to medium coverage. This gives you a bit of a sheen to it, but not a glow. Once you get it to set down, it won't gather into your fine lines and wrinkles. I'm anxious to try this in the winter when I have my really dry skin. But so far, I have been loving this. I keep having to stop myself from using it because I'm like, Bobby, you got to use other products. You can't just keep using this. So yeah, I would highly recommend this. Okay, 2 lip products. This is from e.l.f. It's in the color Standing Ovation. I'm not wearing it today. I should have, but I'm not. It's a beautiful color. It pairs perfectly with the Laura Geller Happy Hazelnut Lip Liner. And I used this in my, I think it was my chatty video, I think is where I put this on together. They're like almost the same color. Beautiful together. One that I do not like. This is from Lottie London. This is their Plumped AF Sheer Plumping Lip Gloss. And here's the reason I don't like it. First off, I got it on my tongue by mistake. Oh. The color is actually nice. So this is the lip gloss right there. It actually pairs nicely with this. First off, I mean, it was horrible tasting and it hurt my tongue. Like I was like, ugh. Do not get this on your tongue. Ugh. I didn't like the feel of it on it. It was kind of more plumping that I like. Like I love a good, in fact, I'm wearing Buxom plumping in the color Sugar. This is just too much. It's one of those that are truly painful. Where this gives me a little bit of a tingle, the Buxom one, this gives me a, I don't like that, that hurts kind of feel. If you're wondering what I do have on my lips, so as a lip liner, I'm using the Essence. This is the Stay Lip Liner in the color Curious. I use this all over my lips. Very creamy, very affordable, very pretty. And then over it, I just use that Sugar from Buxom, and that's all I have on my lips. If you're curious about what else I have on my face, just in case you are, I combined on my eyes. These are both from Tarte. This is the Sweet Tarte, and this is the Tartlette. So the Sweet Tarte one, I used this all over, and I used this in the corner. But I'm not a huge fan of the shimmers in this. I think they're a little bit too chunky. So I switched over to the Tartlette in Bloom, which is my all-time favorite one. And I used this one as my shimmer, and I used this under my brow bone. For my bronzer, I used the Revolution in Light. This is a cream bronzer. And my blush is Milani Cheek Kiss, and this is Nude Kiss. For my foundation, I'm wearing the House Labs. And my mascara is Essence Lash Princess in Waterproof. Oh, you should see all the products here on the right because I just gotta throw things everywhere as I'm going. If you want more speed reviews, I've got a couple more. I will link them right here so you can go watch those. I will see you in one of those or another one. God bless.